Hi, welcome back to UAV Simplified. In the previous video, we discussed all the parts which you will need to build a drone. We also explained what are the basic functions of these parts and how do they help the drone to fly. If you have not seen part 1, then we have included the link in the description below. Make sure you see part 1 to better understand all the necessary ingredients. In this video, we will simplify all the connections between various parts and show you the basics of building your very own drone. First of all, get yourself a proper workstation with ample space. And don't forget to follow proper safety procedures to protect yourselves at all times. Before we start to build our drone, we must understand the spinning of a brushless motor and how to control the direction of spin. Brushless motors have 3 wires and the electronic speed controller or ESC have 3 connections. If we connect the wires parallelly, that is without crossing them, then the motor will spin in one direction. Whether it's clockwise or anti-clockwise, it depends upon the manufacturer. In order to change the direction of the spin, all we have to do is cross any 2 of the wires while connecting to the ESC. Which 2 wires do you cross is immaterial. Now that we have understood how to spin the motors in both clockwise and anti-clockwise directions, let's start the process of building this drone. Level 1. The power connections. This is an example of one of the most commonly used frames. First step is to take 4 brushless motors and attach them to the 4 arms using screws. Next, attach the ESCs on the arms as shown here. Make sure you use tags to properly secure the ESCs so that they do not move or come off during the flight. If you have seen our previous video about how drones fly, you would know that the adjacent motors of the drone need to rotate in opposite directions. For example, the spin of the motors will be clockwise, counterclockwise, clockwise, and counterclockwise. Now connect the 3 wires of the motors to the ESCs as explained earlier. We can check the direction of the motor spin and make changes to the wires at the time of testing. Once the ESCs are connected to the motors, mount the power distribution board or PDB in the center of the frame using some standoff screws. The motors take their power from the ESCs and hence are not required to be connected to the PDB. Now go ahead and connect the power wires of the ESCs to the PDB. Make sure you connect the positive and negative correctly. The drone is powered using LiPo batteries. This battery is connected directly to the PDB. The PDB distributes the power from the battery to all the ESCs and other components of the drone. Further, the PDB also has a dedicated 5-volt pin which is used to power the flight controller. After this, we move on to level 2, the connection to the brain. A flight controller is the brain of the drone and controls all the actions of the drone. It is advisable to mount the flight controller in the center of the frame. This saves you from making additional adjustments later on. You can mount the flight controller on top of the PDB using standoff screws. Now connect the ESC signal pins to the flight controller. After this, we mount the receiver onto the frame and connect the same to flight controller. Then the GPS and compass, and the same is also connected to the flight controller. Now the remote. Wait. Don't mount it on the drone, the remote stays with you on the ground. And finally, give power to the flight controller using the 5-volt pin on the PDB. Please note that most of the flight controllers cannot tolerate voltages above 5 volts. So unless you have a lot of money to burn, make sure you check the voltage before connecting the flight controller. Now that you have done all these connections, one final step is to connect the propellers to the motors and you are ready to fly. Well, almost. You still need to deal with the software and settings etc., which we will explain in the future videos. But hey, congratulations! Now you know how to make your very own drone at home. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit the like button below to keep encouraging us, and if you want to see more of our work, then hit the subscribe button so that you get notified as soon as our future videos go live.